Chapter 9, Mewtwo. Part 2. The Confrontation. The air was still and silent, the oppressive quietude broken only by the rhythmic thudding of Ash's heart against his ribs. He stood before the imposing structure, Charizard looming behind him, a silent guardian, the purple glow intensified, pulsating like a malevolent heartbeat, illuminating the entrance with an eerie light. Finally, the entrance to the structure began to shift, massive stone slabs retracting with a deafening screech. From within, a figure emerged, levitating effortlessly a few feet above the ground. Mewtwo, the legendary Pokémon, was a sight to behold. Its body, sleek and muscular, rippled with psychic energy. Its eyes, those piercing white orbs, glowed with an intense malevolence. A chilling aura emanated from its form, the air around it crackling with static electricity. "You have come," Mewtwo's voice resonated, a deep baritone that seemed to echo through Ash's very soul. "I have been expecting you." Ash, his voice a low growl, responded, "I have come for your power." Mewtwo chuckled, a low, guttural sound that sent shivers down Ash's spine. "Power. You crave power. You have already consumed yourself with it, boy. It has consumed you." Ash bristled. "I will not be lectured by a creation of man." Mewtwo raised an eyebrow, a gesture of amusement. "Creation of man? You are mistaken. I am more than that. I am something much more." With a flick of its wrist, Mewtwo unleashed a wave of psychic energy, sending Ash and Charizard reeling. The force of the attack threw them back, slamming them against the rocky ground. Charizard, roaring in defiance, rose to his feet, his blue flames flickering dangerously. Ash, his vision blurred, wiped the blood from his lip. This was no ordinary battle. This was a clash of titans, a struggle for dominance that would shake the very foundations of the world. Mewtwo, observing Ash's resilience, a flicker of interest crossing its face. "Impressive. You are stronger than I anticipated." Ash, his voice hoarse with rage, rose to his feet. "This ends now, Mewtwo. I will claim your power." With a roar that echoed across the desolate island, Charizard ascended into the air, circling Mewtwo, gathering all his rage, all his training, all the darkness that had consumed him. Charizard unleashed a beam of pure, concentrated fire, a torrent of blue and white flames unlike anything ever witnessed before. The beam struck Mewtwo with the force of a meteor, burning a deep crater into the earth. Smoke billowed from the impact site, obscuring the view. Ash waited, his heart pounding, for any sign of life. With a snap of its fingers, Mewtwo dispersed the smoke, revealing the full extent of the attack. The crater was a sight to behold, a testament to Charizard's immense power. Yet, standing amidst the devastation, Mewtwo remained unscathed, a smirk playing on its lips. "Is that it?" Mewtwo scoffed. "With all your so-called power?" The words ignited a fury within Ash, a primal rage fueled by fear and a desperate need to assert his dominance. Fear, a sensation he had almost forgotten, now gripped him, a chilling reminder of his own mortality. Could he truly defeat this entity, this embodiment of raw, untamed power? "This is it, Mewtwo," Ash roared, his voice echoing through the desolate landscape. "It's over for you. I will show you my power." With a flick of his wrist, Ash released Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres, the legendary birds, their feathers now darkened, their eyes glowing with an eerie malevolence, erupted from his side, their auras flickering with a power unlike anything they had ever exhibited before. They were no longer mere tools. They were extensions of his will, instruments of his ambition. The battle erupted into a whirlwind of destruction. Charizard, a blur of motion, soared through the air, unleashing a barrage of fireballs, each imbued with the raw power of the artifact. Zapdos, a whirlwind of electricity, bombarded Mewtwo with a relentless barrage of thunderbolts, the air crackling with energy. Articuno, a phantom of ice, unleashed a blizzard of icy projectiles, freezing the ground beneath Mewtwo's feet. Moltres, a fiery inferno, rained down a torrent of fire blasts, engulfing Mewtwo in a wall of flames. Mewtwo, however, remained unfazed. He deflected Charizard's fireballs with psychic shields, dodged Zapdos's thunderbolts with effortless grace, and shattered Articuno's ice projectiles with a wave of his hand. He countered with devastating psychic attacks, blasts of raw energy that sent Charizard reeling and forced the other legendary birds to retreat. But Ash was relentless. He commanded Charizard to dive bomb Mewtwo, a fiery meteor descending upon the legendary Pokémon. As Charizard plummeted towards the ground, Zapdos and Articuno unleashed a combined attack, a torrent of electricity and ice converging upon Mewtwo. Moltres, soaring above, unleashed a devastating fire blast, engulfing them all in a maelstrom of fire. The ground trembled, the air thick with smoke and the stench of ozone. Mewtwo, surrounded by the fury of the combined assault, unleashed a wave of psychic energy, attempting to repel the attack. But the combined might of Ash and his Pokémon was too much. The psychic shield, once impenetrable, began to crack and shatter, the force of the combined assault threatening to overwhelm him. Mewtwo, his eyes narrowing, realized the gravity of the situation. He had underestimated his opponent. Ash, fueled by rage and the artifact's dark power, had become a force to be reckoned with. The battle raged on, a symphony of destruction. Mewtwo, though powerful, was beginning to falter. He deflected Charizard's fireballs with psychic shields, dodged Zapdos's thunderbolts with effortless grace, and shattered Articuno's ice projectiles with a wave of his hand. However, as the battle raged on, he began to feel a strain, a weariness he had never experienced before. These creatures, fueled by a rage that seemed to amplify with each passing moment, were growing stronger, faster, more relentless. The artifact, a malevolent presence in the background, seemed to be feeding their power, pushing them beyond their limits. Mewtwo, forced to expend more and more energy to defend himself, felt a surge of pain, a sharp, agonizing sensation that pierced through his psychic defenses. The pain, a long-forgotten sensation, sent a wave of shock through him. He was hurt, truly hurt. The memories, long buried, resurfaced. The agonizing experiments, the loneliness, the isolation, the pain, a stark reminder of his origins, his creation, his suffering. For the first time since his creation, fear, cold and insidious, began to creep into Mewtwo's mind. This wasn't just a battle, it was a reflection of his own past, a confrontation with the very essence of his existence. He had faced powerful opponents before, but none had ever pushed him to this limit, none had ever ignited such a primal fear within him. Ash, sensing his opponent's faltering, unleashed a final, devastating assault. Charizard, fueled by a potent combination of rage and the artifact's dark energy, unleashed a devastating Dragon Claw, a searing inferno that engulfed Mewtwo. Simultaneously, Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres unleashed a combined attack, a torrent of electricity, ice, and fire that converged upon the trapped Mewtwo. The ground trembled, the air thick with smoke. Mewtwo, engulfed in the maelstrom of attacks, felt a surge of primal rage, a desperate need to survive. He unleashed a final, desperate psychic blast, a wave of raw energy that shattered the combined assault, sending the legendary birds reeling. But the victory was short-lived. Ash, with a chilling grin, commanded, "Finish him." Charizard, his eyes burning with malevolent fire, dove towards Mewtwo, a living embodiment of destruction. The impact was deafening. A blinding flash of light erupted, followed by a deafening roar that shook the very foundations of the island. When the smoke finally cleared, Mewtwo lay motionless on the ground, Charizard hovering above, its flames flickering menacingly. A triumphant grin spread across Ash's face. "It's over," he hissed, his voice echoing through the desolate landscape. "I have conquered the legendary Pokémon." But his victory was short-lived. Debris began to rise from the ground, swirling around Mewtwo, forming a vortex of psychic energy. The legendary Pokémon, his eyes now burning with an unholy rage, slowly rose to his feet. The ground trembled violently, cracks appearing in the earth. Mewtwo unleashed a psychic cataclysm, a wave of raw energy that shattered the very fabric of the island. Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres, their bodies now lifeless, their forms twisted and broken, lay scattered across the ravaged landscape. Charizard, caught in the devastating blast, was thrown back with such force that he crashed into the ground, his flames extinguished. Ash, standing nearby, was also caught in the devastating wave. He was thrown back with such force that he slammed into the rocky terrain, his body rendered motionless. Mewtwo, his eyes filled with a chilling fury, descended upon Ash. With a wave of his hand, he encased Ash in a cocoon of solid rock, a dark, impenetrable tomb. "I will never be at the mercy of man, never again," Mewtwo declared, his voice echoing through the desolate landscape. "And you, young master, shall spend the remainder of your life in dark captivity, as I once was." The island, ravaged by the psychic cataclysm, fell silent. Only the chilling laughter of Mewtwo echoed through the desolate landscape, a chilling reminder of the devastating power he wielded, and a terrifying fate that awaited those who dared to challenge his reign. Thank you for listening. This concludes our journey. Please share your thoughts below.